everybody, and welcome to another episode of the TheCivShow Podcast, where we suck so you don't have to. I'm your host, MoySauce.
Razing Zozo.
Had Nystagmus. I don't know what happened there.
I forgot to unmute my mic on
Yeah,
Twitch.
and I took the opportunity to mock you for it. So, what can we do here?
I don't like you right now, Zo. Okay, see my hands? They are not impressed with you. They're up to my armpits to try to show that I'm mad at you, sir.
You guys got to get back to working together again because you got that game on Sunday. You got to work together, man.
Remind me.
I think our alliance functions on our differences and the mutual disrespect that we show one another. It makes us stronger.
I will try my best.
I call it his mistakes. He calls out my mistakes, and we get better. Like that's how our relationship works.
You see, it's perfect.
You just don't understand, Nystagmus. You don't understand, okay? Me and Zoe, we go way back. We go way back even further than you two. You don't even know. Like, whatever. Who are you? His cousin? Like,
I met Moy before I met you, even though he wasn't even born yet. That's how freaking amazing time travel we are, okay? Like, come on, Nystagmus. Come on.
On this episode of the podcast, we will be talking about our last Sunday 6-player free-for-all Terra map. We're going to be talking about the Merchant of Venice challenge that Zoe has come up with, and we're also going to be talking about Portugal's First Look video. And then at the very end, we do have a big announcement, so stay tuned for that. So, with that said, why don't we start with last Sunday, where we had myself play Byzantium, we had Zoe play Russia, we had Nystagmus play Gaul, and then we had 3 AIs: Vietnam on Emperor difficulty, Rome on Emperor difficulty, and French Eleanor on Deity difficulty.
I am sorely disappointed by Eleanor's performance in that game.
She's
sorely disappointed.
Terrible. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna clean up Eleanor.
Are you? I thought you had to retreat.
Yeah, I did. It's temporary. It's temporary retreat. Okay, it's temporary retreat. I raised a city. She's got no military.
I have reresurrected my enemy a couple times.
That was really annoying.
We found
really annoying.
So anyone doesn't know this, that if you conquer someone and then their city, we're playing in Dramatic Ages, which I love that game mode. It's my favorite game mode. And one of the cities became free cities. I took it over again. You can liberate the old computer. You get 300 diplomatic favor for doing that, and you get 5 error score for then immediately killing them again, right? And so it wasn't enough to stop me from going to a dark age, but it was a pretty awesome exploit. I found out that was pretty awesome.
Now I'm not saying that's like Russian Blizzard in apocalypse mode, but it was alien.
It's not equivalent. No, it's not equivalent. Russia Blizzard Apocalypse mode is completely busted. Like, not even.
Well, I'm wondering, like,
I just know. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering if you could do it in perpetuity, right? Can I, like, at the end of the game during Dramatic Ages, have a dark age, then liberate a city, and then bring back Rome randomly, like when he's not been there for 1,000 years?
Yeah, I guess so. The way the gaming mechanics work.
You know what? The end result is destroying Zoe's economy. Is what happened because I ended up Nystagmus. Oh
yeah, that was another thing we found out too.
He has this one city that's so delicious for trade, and like everywhere else is like it's like 5 gold, and then there's one city 15 gold. And I like this city. I had like 4 cities trading with this one city because I was like, this is sweet gold. And then
you like the gold, but I was raised by it, crafted by the gold. That's why all my cities are.
All right. Well, then, I learned the hard way. I had to like take a loan out from one of the other computers, the AI.
Because that's the other exploit. So apparently, everybody, if you do this, what I did was I was trying to get out of my dark age. I liberated the Roman city, brought him back, and then immediately tried to kill him. But apparently what happened was he had a research alliance with Zoe, which apparently got reinstated immediately when he was brought back. So when I declared war on him, I was automatically at war with Zoe, and he lost all his trade routes with me. So
it destroyed my economy. I went to like negative 30 gold a turn, and
even when we're not on the same team together, I'm still propping up your empire
See?
with gold.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
I'm just giving you the gold or you're trading with all my cities that are rich with gold, I am still just giving you the gold. So
Yes,
there you go.
it's
So
true. It's true.
dependent, Zoe.
I am.
Wow.
I am so dependent on Nystagmus for resources. I was able to turn it around. I got the temper. I got the money. I got some gold, and I was able to redirect my trade routes. And then once we had peace, I was able to get that trade going again. But yeah, that was bad. But I'll say this about the game: when there's AI, I think we cooperate a little bit more together. Because like
The common enemy.
it's the common
You
enemy.
know, I have noticed one thing is that because when we're all playing together and one of us declares one on the other, we go into try hard mode pretty bad. Like we go into like, okay, now I gotta like actually do something, and then
Gets
the conversation
quiet.
kind of
Yeah.
peters out.
Yeah.
Now, the really cool thing about having the AI is that when Zoe's, fighting Eleanor, he can tell us, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, right? But when you're fighting me, you don't want to be like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and you're just gonna tell me exactly what you're gonna try to do, so I can defend it. So it causes a little bit more conversation going on because we can actually talk about our battle strategies without fear of giving away the game, right? So I think that's a cool aspect of it. We can actually talk about, or I can complain that it took me way too long to defeat the Romans because I didn't think to build a battering ram because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so there.
You didn't build a battering ram?
Nobody,
You me about building a battering ram with cavalry, and you didn't build a battering ram?
It's like
So
200 gold.
I just didn't buy the object. I didn't use it incorrectly.
You used it incorrectly by not using it at all, Nystagmus.
No,
What's worse?
That's not the
What's
same
worse? No, building it and not being able to use it, or not building it and needing it? Having access or not having it at all? What's worse?
I don't know. What's worse, like needing a car but not having one, or trying to start it with like a coat hanger? Right.
Trying to start it with a coat hanger. That's worse. That was an easy question.
That's what you did. You got a battering ram and tried to use a coat hanger.
What?
You tried to use it with cavalry.
You just no. I have the excess. I'm the one that. What are you talking about? That's like having too much food or having not enough food. What's worse?
But is it different if you can't even eat the food? Like you had the battering ram, but it wasn't like helping you at all, right? So you can have all the food you want, but like you can't if you can't eat it. Like
whatever, man.
Whatever, boy. You tried to use a battering ram with cavalry.
Either
shut up, Zoe.
Either way, sorry. I'm like, this is a cool game. I'm looking forward to returning to it. Russia's so much fun. But my one beef with them is that they're too good early and there's too much going on. And when everyone's like, hurry, finish your turn, hurry, it's like, guys, like from turn one, I have so many resources. I got so many things that I can do.
Guys, I'm just kicking ass so hard. Like, come on, you gotta calm down a little bit.
Russia is a really, really tough civ. So yeah, I was overwhelmed by like just all the units and how quickly I was earning great people and like what am I doing with them, and like I was amazed by my yields.
Did you say that you were winning so hard you got sick of winning?
I was winning so hard. Well, the other problem though with Russia is I got landlocked. So you guys are all like able to explore the ocean, and this is a Terra map. So basically now Moy's in this position that he's gone and he's colonized, and I can't even. I'm stuck. I can't even build boats. If I built a boat, it would be in a lake. That's the type of boat I can build.
Hey man, it could be the next Norway lake boats. I heard they're really good.
Don't ever bring up that. I brought it up on my stream because I was right beside Harold in that game, and I brought it up with my stream exactly what my experience with Harold never being in any of my games ever again, because that was literally like we were all playing on the same level difficulty computer, but like the different levels that the computers were playing at was just like not even comparable. And Van Bradley, I think, is in the chat. I think I saw him. Right? Was he?
Yeah, he's here.
So my Harold in our game was coupe levels of incompetent. Right? Like like he was that bad when we were playing with him in our game. That's how bad he was. He's horrible.
You can't compare. There's no way. Coupe settled a one-tile tundra island. You can't compare Harold building lake boats and Coupe setting a one-tile tundra.
Harold didn't build a single coastal city in that game, despite being next to the coast. Built them only on lakes and built longboats. All he did was build longboats and lakes. Don't tell me he's like no. It was comparable. It's exactly comparable, actually.
It's like starting as Germany and not calling for a reroll when you start like in like literally like right beside the edge of the map and mountains all around you. Yeah, that happened once. That was a terrible game. Nystagmus kicked my butt.
Yeah, oh right, the Inland Sea. Yes,
The Inland
yes.
Sea
I
game,
forgot about that.
Where I was Germany and it was so much BS.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Next time I'll scum, I guess. Now that scumming's becoming, the thing to do.
I have a question for you, Zo.
Yeah.
Do you think you're in a position to win this game?
Maybe. I'm like now that you're in the main or the new continent. I don't know. I think you're gonna just skyrocket ahead.
I like how no one is like, is Nystagmus gonna win? No. What are you talking about? It's Nystagmus.
Well, you're in a rough position.
I'll get to you. I'll get to you.
I don't think so. I think like in the long game, I think you've got that down. And I'm very stuck where I am. Like if I take out France, maybe, but that's going to take a bunch of resources. In the meantime, now you've got time to like build your infrastructure. Your science is going to probably be 400 by the end of next game.
That'll be a record.
So, well, I say with minimal hyperbole, it'll probably be 250, 250, 300 by the end of next game. So I don't know. I hope so.
What's your win condition? What are you going for?
It would appear that I would have a good success if I tried doing that evil culture victory.
Okay.
Especially because right now, as is, like I've got quite a bit of wonders. My thing is though, my cities are very small. So I don't have as many trade routes as I possibly could. And I don't have as many, I only have one culture hub, right? So yeah,
yikes.
but considering that, I have a pretty good culture score right now, right? But I don't have room for the great works, and I don't have room for all the stuff that is going to generate the major tourism. But
wonders. You have a bunch of wonders.
I got wonders. So if this war with Eleanor, I don't know if I can win this. Like, and I have to put more into science. Like, I need artillery. If I'm gonna have any hope, I'm gonna need oil. Like, we're going into the next phase here. So I can do culture, but if I'm going oil, I'm going next phase. If I start pumping out peace tanks, what do you do? So I don't know. I'll give myself a 23% chance of victory.
Okay.
It's a very precise number.
You want to know? I hear Nystagmus. Do you think you're gonna win? I'll go to you next.
No.
Why?
No,
I actually think you do. I
no.
think there's a very good chance. I think you're as likely to win as either of us. I can tell you why in a bit. Why?
I highly doubt that, but I feel like I had a good streak going. I was actually really surprised I got as far as I did without getting a Dark Age. You guys were like, yeah, man, I'm already past my Dark Age thing, and I was like, the last 2 Golden Ages I had, I did it by the skin of my teeth. Like just the skin of my teeth, and then I just wasn't able to make the next hurdle to get to. Now I'm lucky I didn't have your level of Dark Age when you were playing Scotland. That didn't happen to me. I was really scared.
It might happen again. So don't rule it out.
The one way I would say that would help me win is if you guys like built up all this stuff. And especially since you're expanding, that you guys both go into a Dark Age that is just like really horrible. And I can capitalize on that. And
but don't you you have coast access, right? So you could take the other side of the continent of Terra, right?
I could. Yeah, I could.
So that might be something to do.
Again, the dramatic ages kind of paused how I normally sim like crazy. I love having lots of cities, but I'm just the more cities you have, the more likely you go into a Dark Age. So I'm just scared of it.
True, I didn't think of that. I guess wouldn't Terra be the first to flip? Wouldn't Terra be the first to flip, like the new continent? Yeah.
So that's your win condition, though, is that like me and Zoe get into a dark age and we just flip out of existence. It could happen. It happened to me. It could happen, right? So if you just stay on your 5 cities or whatever, and you just chill and you build up your science and your culture to make sure
Yeah,
you get
my
civics and
cities are
everything.
tall, man. Like,
Yeah,
I have
like
one tall city, and all my other cities are like population 4.
I think almost before the Dark Age hit, because I had to take over that Roman city again, so it's a lot smaller. I don't think I had a single city that was under population 10, and like all of them are big, like they're all big, and so that's the only thing I can think of maybe because I think also how many people are in your cities determines how easily they are flipped in a Dark Age. I think that there's like a mechanic in that too.
loyalty is directly proportional to the population in your cities. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's what stopped me from losing more more cities because I thought for sure more was going to flip because I missed the golden age by more than 10 points.
That's not a whole lot. That's not like a crazy amount. Like that's 2 wonders. I think a wonder's 4 era score or something like that.
Did we just leave an age, or we just?
Yeah, and going into
I
that
don't
Dark
think
Age,
so.
someone stole 2 wonders I was trying to build.
Probably Zoe. He's building all the
Yeah,
wonders.
it was Zoe. Yeah, I had a couple of them that I was building, and then it was like, oh no, you can't do it now.
I'm Russia with work ethic. You know, of my cities, while I have few cities, they all have like production 50. So yeah, I'm gonna build wonders. Like that's what Russia does.
Yeah,
you
I'm not mad about it.
You got the production.
I'm a lot less sour about it than I used to be. I'm a lot less sour about it.
You have the productions though. I think I have the culture though. I am currently generating
you got
over
crazy
200 culture per turn. I almost can get to like national parks. I have my preserves starting to get online as well. I'm on the new continent. I'm really afraid that I'm super afraid of going into a dark age. I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in like either the industrial era or the modern era. I'm not sure.
It will screw you most. Definitely, it'll screw you most because you've got so many cities now, right? So, as like if I got a dark age, all my cities are clustered together. I will very rapidly be able to retake them. I think I only have 5 or 6 cities, anyways, right? So yeah, I guess that's the one thing both my Nystagmus and myself have going for us is that we do have smaller empires, and you have, I think, what, like 10 cities at least.
Oh, I think I have like 13, 14.
14 cities.
I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna start hearing ding ding for you. Okay.
Never happens.
Never.
Let's move on to the Merchant of Venice challenge. So take it away.
Okay, so I don't know, I went on a walk and I came up with this challenge. And it seemed like a good idea at the time. I think it's at least fun. I don't think it's hard, but
fun.
it's at
I
least
like
fun.
it. Yeah.
So the nature of the challenge is the goal is to levy at least 10 city-states all on the same turn. Until you levy your city-states on the same turn, you can't levy city-states. There's no levying city-states. So you levy them all on a single turn, but before you levy them, you must declare out loud in your house, even if you're by yourself, or if you're with a family, or if you're at a solemn occasion that you should, like a wedding or something like that, you still have to shout it out.
At a wedding.
Yeah. Well, it's online now. You know, weddings are online. So
yeah, you can play on the Android. You can play an Android.
You can. You have to shout out, "I am the Merchant of Venice," and then you have to proceed to get all 10 of them levied in one turn. If you get it wrong, if your math is off, you lose the game. There's no scums allowed. Okay, it's just you play and you got to get it. We found it's relatively easy, especially if you're coupe, because it's on a Terra map. So you just go to the new continent and just convert everybody, and you get it done no problem. But I think it is fun, and it's got room for tweaking. And I stopped doing the tweaking after I banned coupe. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do any more tweaking, but I am going to come up because I want to work on this challenge. I want to make it something to do with city states. I always liked Civ as much as I never liked Civ World Congress. I did like the Merchant or Venice in Civ 5. I thought their thing was really cool. Maybe I could have that it's a one city challenge. So it could be Merchant of Venice and it's a one city challenge to replicate that. So that might be a really easy way to make the game really hard. So you're not allowed to build settlers and you're not allowed to take religious settlements. You can only have one city, and you have to win, that way. Maybe that's the way to go. So I'm thinking of some possible tweaks, but either way, it's like four of the 7 modes are on. So it's like secret societies, dramatic ages, corporations, and
barbarian clans.
And the original idea was I included specific civs that would be really good at converting city states. So I had like Teddy Roosevelt, and I had
Germany to murder the city states.
Germany to murder them. And then I threw Eleanor of France in because I was like, well, if it's dramatic ages, there's going to be all of the city flipping going on, and let's see if Eleanor can get out of control. And in the new world, there's going to be tons of city states. But unfortunately, I did not anticipate that the AI has no interest whatsoever, at least those ones, no interest whatsoever in colonizing the new world. So pretty much once you're able to get overseas, it's easy. From there, it's easy.
So,
either way, though, it sounds like it's fun. So go ahead, Moy.
I want to get into the Civ pick, but I want to hear, I know, Nystagmus, you're not doing this challenge, but I want to hear who you would pick giving the conditions that Zoe has laid out.
Now, can we choose new civs?
Any Civ you want.
Any civ you want.
No
and
limits, not Portugal, because they're not released yet.
Oh, okay, that's what I meant by that.
This is pre-Portugal.
You have to play this today. Who are you picking?
So one of the things Canada would be a good pick, I think, on obviously, right? So that because no one can declare war on you, right? It allows you to just kind of like pick owls, and I know that was another thing you might want to ban too, right? But just so that you can be friends with be friends with the city states. The other civ that would be probably good is just one that you can, because it's all about getting envoys, right? So trying to seize all the different cities is someone who can get to something to get to the other continent, especially if it's on Terra, right? So I'm thinking like Dido, like the Phoenicians would be a good one.
Good choice.
Another naval, any naval civ really. So like Victoria, England, maybe too.
Another
just
good
gets
choice.
You quickly. Yeah, it ggets you quickly there. So those are the two main ones I'm thinking off the top of my head. If Coupe is banned, because Coupe would be like the OP.
Yeah, Coupe is banned. All right, so
one to do.
So Zoe, go through who you picked and why.
I ended up going for Dido of the Phoenicians. My intention was I would relocate to the new capital, relocate to the new continent, and then my aim was to I might even move my capital there, and then take advantage of that. So more or less the Coupe strategy, just not in the ancient era. So that by this time, you got to hold your own. And they're just I've actually discovered they're just a really fun trade civ. Like they're just really fun for one of the economic civs, which is good to like rediscover a neat civ like Dido. So yeah, Dido. I was thinking about doing like the easiest way would have been like Teddy, doing I think it's the Rough Rider. Teddy's the one that gets the
2 envoys whenever he sends
2
one.
envoys.
Yeah.
Going owls, and then this will be super easy. Or the Mali. I thought just with the amount of gold and you want relative peace, go owls, and you have tons of trade routes with the Mali. So
did you try Mali at all in your any of your games?
I am currently trying Mali on a different map in an Earth game that I'm going to try and do the same thing, but I'm not declaring it an official challenge. So no, not yet.
So I tried Mali to see. I'm like, okay, I have a couple in mind. I'm going to see how Mali does, right? And so I did it offline, and they struggle with their early game, especially on Terra. You are public enemy number 1. You have no military because you don't have any gold yet because you haven't established yourself, and then you can't produce any units because it's so much harder to produce units that everybody just gangs up on you, and it's so impossible to play Mali. I tried so many times. I had such good like holy sites and sugabas. Like I was producing so much. I had like 2+7 sugabas. I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
Nice.
This is awesome. And then just like city flip because of dramatic ages, war from another guy, war from another person. And I'm like, oh my god, Mali's so hard. Like, how do you do Mali? So because I'm like, okay, I'm losing confidence in Mali, I had the same idea where, okay, let me just get to the other continent as quick as possible. Then who does that better other than Coupe than Norway? Because Norway, you can answer ocean tiles with shipbuilding instead of cartography, which is an incredible amount earlier than anyone else. And so I picked Norway.
I didn't say Norway because I have a bias against
every Sunday 100 games every Sunday.
Hey, what's the Nystagmus?
I said I didn't say Norway because I have a bias against Harold.
Norway's amazing, dude. Norway is a good civ. I love Norway. They're amazing. Anyway, I won't get into that too much, but I picked Norway. I'm already on the other continent. I think I'm 87 turns in. I'm on the other continent. I have 2 cities there. I think I'm about to establish a third. I'm about to hit a golden age. I have monumentality. Since they have stave churches as well, they want a religion, they want faith. You can easily get monumentality and start just spamming out settlers with your faith. So I thought Norway was just a really good way to get it. I don't think trade routes is going to be the issue. I think there'll be enough trade routes by building harbors and commercial hubs and having owls. So that in my head, I'm like, trade routes isn't. I don't care. I'll get them eventually. Let's just get to the other islands. So I picked Norway. That's my strategy.
I watched a bit. It was definitely one of the stronger civs out there. So like I think this will be one of those challenges that we'll tweak it. And I think it was just the general consensus. It was at least fun to play, even if it was a bit on the easier side, or like less difficult. I think maybe if you compare it to Recon, that was hard.
Yeah,
that was
Recon was hard.
That was a
man.
really hard challenge.
But maybe this is a good change.
Yeah,
We just had a really hard challenge.
Well, the other thing that someone made the point of that I was like, yeah, I think you're totally right, is that I think in multiplayer it'd be super fun because then we're all well aware of what we're trying to do. We're fighting for city states. We're fighting for getting claim on the continent. And then I think the dramatic age, it just adds this level of like, you could lose everything if you're not careful, and you have to plan. And the most frustrating thing, I think, and you guys have probably found this too with dramatic ages, is when you're like, oh crap, I've reached it, and I have 10 turns to go, and I've got like 15 things that are going to give me error score. And there's like no way to, unless you plan ahead, there's no way to steer that. So I don't know. I could see us trying this out one day, maybe on a Sunday, trying it out, or even like we have now on our Discord, we have looking for group. I encourage all of our Discordians to try this out. Get a group of you together. Get like 8 of you together and try out this challenge. And because ultimately it is a kind of peaceful challenge, right? Mm-hmm. Unless somebody takes over the city states. And that'd be funny too. So if one of you went with Germany, and then you got to go liberate them, and it's like, all right, let's go liberate them. Unless you're raising them, but I think maybe shouldn't be allowed to raise.
Yeah, but then barbarian clans can take action, and you can start getting more. Once we raise one, then another one appears.
Right, you're right. That's the defense mechanism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, try it out, guys. It's on the Discord. I don't know if we can quickly throw the link on the chat, but it's on the Discord and under our challenges. Hope you like it. And open to suggestions for how to make it a little more challenging. I think if I do add something, I'll go total Civ 5 and make it that it's a 1 city challenge. I could see that being. Maybe everyone has to rename their first city Venice.
Venice is in my game actually. Because I picked city states. I picked all the gold ones, not thinking about it. And I saw Venice, and I was like, oh, huh, okay. Well, I'm your merchant, but not yet. So let's move on to one half of the exciting news today, which is Portugal. Portugal, the first look came out. Man, this is an insane civilization. Nystagmus, you start. How do you feel about Portugal?
I like trade stuff. So trade, I think it's very interesting. I know everyone's like talking about how like awesome it is, but I think they did a pretty good job of like balancing it.
I think so too.
Like, you get all these different yields for their trade routes, but they can only be on coastal cities and only with cities that have harbors. So
no, it's coastal or cities that have harbors. So if I settle away from the coast, but I built a harbor, you can trade with me.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it said and
It's
instead of or.
Definitely or.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking at the Civ Wikipedia and they say and still. So maybe I'll
Really?
clarify that.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but it didn't look like it because Moy's correct.
Oh,
Thank you,
Moyes. Okay,
Borderline. Yes.
Carl's coming in with okay. So yeah, someone who wrote the Civ Wikipedia here is wrong. I got to go and correct it. But I was reading that because but still, I think it balances it out then because it's not like all of their international trade routes can do that, right? So obviously they get awesome yields from these particular trade routes. And the only thing I think it works really good against AI. I wonder how the multiplayer game would work. Like people just stop settling near the coast.
Everyone declares war on Portugal. They have no international yields.
Or isn't there like
it's like denouncing Canada right away?
Isn't there like isn't there like a World Congress where you can like embargo somebody or something like that?
Yeah,
like
that too. No trade routes to Portugal, or Portugal has no trade routes to anybody else. So right? Good.
So like that's a cool ability, but it's obviously got its weaknesses and stuff. It's just that I like the idea of trade routes that are very because in the early game especially, I can't give up the temptation to use more domestic trade routes for the production and food bonuses. And so now this one really gives me the idea of like never even relying on that at all. Just use a lot of the thing. And then the other interesting thing is their infrastructure. So obviously their ship was going to be like the special unit, but like the infrastructure, the fact that you could build it in like other people's like territory. That special unit that their ship can build, or that's what's it called again?
It is called the
Fitoria.
I'm going to butcher the pronunciation here. Yeah, the Fitoria. Yeah, right.
Fitoria,
yeah. Fitoria. That's such an interesting thing. Do you want me to explain it before you get into it?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, but I just think it's really really cool, the dynamic of having to build it in someone else's territory.
Yeah,
which is,
I think that's
cool.
awesome. It's so unique. I thought it was so cool. Which could be very trolly, by the way. But so I didn't really like think about this when I first heard this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you both benefit from it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you want to be friends with Portugal. They build these things in cool spots. I didn't think about that. You can just block a really good harbor spot for somebody. It's like, nope, I'm gonna build it right here. You can't put a harbor there anymore because you can't destroy it. It's just there forever.
Can't be destroyed. Can't be adjacent to another flotilla.
And the other thing I just wonder though is if you have to have like a declared friendship or an alliance for you to do it.
Open border to benefit from it. So if you want to benefit from it, you have to have open border with another civilization or a city state. So.
But they automatically have open borders with all city states. That's part of their thing,
Portugal's thing, cool.
Which is insane.
That is cool.
That ability alone is like, wow.
And then I think Moy, and I don't want to take away your question because I think you had a really good question in your video about Portugal, about their other infrastructure, the navigation school.
What was the question?
Can they be part of the Hermetic Order? Right? Like what happens when you do that?
Yeah, so Alchemical Society will take over the unique university. So Arabia also has a unique university, and if you pick Hermetic Order with Arabia, it's the same thing. The Alchemical Society takes priority over the unique improvements. So Portugal is a civ that, not that Hermetic Order is usually your first choice, but you don't go Hermetic Order with Portugal.
Your favorite one, right?
Me, yes, but a lot of people know. So don't go Hermetic Order with Portugal. 100% terrible. Like Hermetic Order is already maybe C tier. Like it's going to F tier for Portugal because the navigation school, the unique, is insane. This is an insane building. You get +1 science for every 2 coastal or lake tiles. You also get +25% production to naval production, and you get +1 Great Admiral points along with the regular +4 science, +1 housing from a university. So the amount of science that you can get from this one building, especially on an archipelago map, is incredible.
Or beside Barrier Reef.
Yeah, beside Barrier Reef is really good too because you get the adjacency bonus as well. But if you think about like, oh, I can build a really good mausoleum, you can build a really good navigation school as well because all those coastal tiles just science.
The very last thing too is their leader special ability, which in bigger games is better.
Oh
right?
yeah, so good.
Because
Yeah, go through with it.
you get one trade route capacity for every civ that you meet, right?
So
So the
good.
bigger the
So
game,
good.
like imagine playing a game where if you like scout, like if it was like a Terra map and it's like an 8-player game, that someone like scouts Terra map really quickly and then gets 8 trade routes without doing anything,
Yeah, just boom,
right?
and
Like,
then just like
Just for
all
meeting
you're
them,
doing
yeah.
is producing trade routes, and then you have so much gold per turn in the ancient era, classical era. Crazy.
And +1
So-
sight's nothing to sneeze at either, right? Like a +1 sight in it, like that'll allow you to scout much faster. Because a scout already has what, a 2
Yeah,
or a 3 range.
two.
A
Two.
2, so a
Settler has 3
3,
range.
yeah,
I mean,
3 hexes in
it's-
all directions. Come on, that's a lot.
it's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
it's no +1 movement that Grand Columbia gets, but
It's
Maybe
not,
not.
but. So if you watch Potato McWhiskey's reaction video to this, he brings up a really good point, which is since sight works as a radius, you're revealing more of the map than you would if you had +1 movement. Because if you're moving just in a straight line, you're revealing like 7 to 9
Also,
tiles at all times every time
allows
you move.
Portuguese units to have siege abilities. So, for example, like your point was battleships have so battleships for any other civ would have +2 sight or 2 sight, and then they have 3 range. So you need another unit to help give them their full range. Portuguese battleships don't need that because they have +1 sight, so they don't need extra units to see ahead of them to able to hit units, and so they're able to do more. So it's more than just like scouting. It's also, especially when it comes to siege units, their ability to see the opponent and hit them comes into play as well. So it's a very important ability, I think. And so what we should do is have Portugal and Gran Colombia fight it out to see which one of those two things is more OP. That's what we got to do.
What's crazy to think about is that if you get a scout and then you have 3 sight because of Portuguese unique ability, and then if you get the +1 sight, you got 4. You get to see 4 tiles away from yourself. Holy crap, dude! That's like half the map almost. Exaggeration, but wow, that's far.
You're scouts. Well, you still get blocked by things, right? Like you can't see through the woods, right?
There's an upgrade for that too, though. And
there is an upgrade, yeah.
You know, it would go if you go down the entire left tree, it's like you can move through trees, you can see through trees, and then +1 sight. So it's a 3-level promotion. So you can either get +1 sight or +20 combat in all situations. Kind of a weird choice, but for Portugal, I think you can justify the +1 sight.
I like it for the idea of having scouts on your enemy's borders. You know, that's almost like having a raised intelligence level, right? That you're able to actually see what they're just like, well, yeah, I can see 4 squares in, and I have them pointed here, and they're all just, they're not attacking. I'm just very aware of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's intelligence, and that's fantastic. And then, yeah, for, I think even naval, that's crazy. Battleship that can see and shoot.
And
oh, that's going to be fun.
Wouldn't the site also apply, like, we're all talking about scouts and stuff like that, but I would imagine that the number one way that Portugal would scout would be to trade.
Probably.
True. But you need to know don't quote me on this, but I think you need to know the entire path before you can send a trade route there. Like you can't just like know where the city is and send a trade route. You need to know the path to the city.
True. Yeah.
In order to
but
send
you'd
a trade
be able
route.
to find that fast.
But with the extra sight, though, as you're doing the first cities that you see and the traders are going there.
Oh, true.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But even just building that first galley and being able to see that little bit further, that could be a big indicator for like land that's close to you, for where to go to expand. I can see lots of applications for simple +1 sight.
I think even the last one I can think of right now, just immediately when you spawn and your settler has 4 sight. You know how much land you can see? Like, oh, where's the best place I can settle?
Traders could probably also be used very effectively. To basically spy, right, on enemy positions and stuff as well, right?
Well, they have to go through water. They only can go through water, so you can spy in the water. Yeah, but I mean, how effective is that going to be?
Like,
no. Well, that's the destination of international trade routes to coastal cities, right? in cities with a harbor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the path that the trader will take is over the water.
Oh, yeah, no, it has to go over the water. Yeah.
Does it? It just says that's what the destination has to be.
It was mentioned actually earlier by Carl. Portugal's international trade routes have to be 100% on water tiles, except for those few tiles in between a city center and a harbor.
Okay, that's a significant difference. Then,
so that's the balance. That's the balance. Is that they're not like there's such a big restriction on their trade routes. They can get a ton of gold and they get a ton of yields from them, but there's a very tight restriction on their trade routes, and that's how they're balanced. There you go. Anything else about Portugal?
I like that they got that mutually beneficial. So like, yeah, you could go and declare war on them, but then you're not going to get these, up to 8 gold and 2 production in your cities. Like I think that's a good bargaining chip for a civilization that's kind of looking for mutual dependency.
But as soon as you plant that down, I get the benefit. Then I could declare war on you, and I still get the benefit.
Yeah, but I still get the benefit too, right? It benefits both of us. I get +4 and +1 production as Portugal, right? So it's who cares? Like, sure, I'm there, and I'm guessing I could see, right? I could probably see out. Hopefully, +1 sight. I don't know, but I can, But it's a way to like have your eyes all over the place. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. So yeah,
the biggest question though is who the heck is going to play Portugal out of the 3 of us when it's released?
I think this only solution is that we have to have an all Portugal game,
or none of us play Portugal. How about that?
What? Nah, then a contest. Gotta be a contest. Some kind of contest. How about oldest player in the Civ show gets? That's the contest.
I'm gonna say we'll see, and we'll determine that a little bit later. How about that?
Yeah,
sounds
good.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, do you wanna go on to the announcement now? Do you wanna? Is it time?
I wish I had something to like. Hold on. I should dress up a little. Like this is like a. Look at this. This is the sort of affair we're talking about. This is a top hat sort of affair to announce this amazing announcement. Would you guys not agree? There's a top hat. Do you guys have a top hat? You don't have a top.
No.
You don't have a top. Oh, guys. You gotta get your
bud.
top hat. If you're a serious anything, you gotta have a top hat. It's serious human. Anyways, for this serious announcement, I'll do it. I got it. All right. Okay, guys. So there are heroes out there. Okay, there are heroes of some renown, and we love those heroes, and they're great while they're around. Okay, but then above heroes, there are people of greatness. Okay, so they're like great heroes. All right, but then there are legends. Okay, there are legends. All right. And only every now and then does the Civ show get to witness and have in its midst a legend. And it just pleases me to be able to announce that the Civ show has managed to somehow, and I think it's somebody up there likes us or somebody down there likes us. I don't know. We have managed to secure the greatest civilization legend just below Sid Meier's, I think. Maybe 2 notches below Sid Meier's himself. And the Civ show will be hosting Borderline himself, the big man Carl, on the Civ show. I believe the 28th is the day.
March 28th, he will be playing with us.
Like that's like my top hat falling off my head. That's how legendary we're talking about here. It's going to be amazing. I think me and him have to have a costume off or something. To get into the groove of it. But anyways, the dynamic Borderline will be joining us. We're so excited. We're like beyond excited. Like, look, I'm like giddy. I know these guys are giddy. That's that. Yeah, like that's not the senility right now. Okay, yeah, there it is. You guys see it. There he is, the big man himself. Look at that bone. Yeah, that's a legend that means business right there.
He's got a bone to pick with you, Zo.
Bone to pick with me. What for this amazing?
He's here to show you that a specific faction of the Pirates game is good.
Well, hey,
the point I was getting is that Carl might play Portugal, so.
You see, that. I said oldest. I think Carl might be older than me. I don't know. Maybe. Carl might
I
be older
have no idea. That's not an appropriate question to ask. So
yeah,
how dare you?
A gentleman in a top hat never asks. Okay, about a person's age. But you're right. I think Carl should be Portugal, and I think we have a plan of the TheCivShow Cluster F. Right?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna call it chaos mode? Chaos mode.
Sure. I guess that's more politically correct.
All right, so we're gonna play chaos mode, which is gonna be every single game mode that Firaxis has introduced in the new Frontier Pass. Every single one. Apocalypse mode, secret societies, shuffle mode, God forbid shuffle mode, monopolies and corporations, dramatic ages, zombies, barbarian clans, all seven game modes. And Carl's gonna come up with a game with that criteria. And we're all going to be playing New Frontier Pass Civilizations as well. Carl did say that he would prefer one of us play Portugal. And Zo, you're older than Carl. Yeah. So it's going to be rock, paper, scissors, I guess, who plays Portugal between us three.
That one time that matters. Yeah, I think most of the planet is younger than I am. So, and that's probably factually correct.
The best kind of correct.
The best kind.
I cannot wait for a bunch of zombies to overrun my empire before it's crushed by a bunch of meteors.
Man, I'm so excited for zombies.
To see how many zombies kill you and take over your capital, and that's when the meteor will land. It's gonna be perfect. Oh man, it's.
So Van Bradley's reaction video to the April March update was when he saw zombies mode. He's like, okay, I'm not a fan of this myself, especially in single player. It's like, but he's like, I really want to see the TheCivShow take this and do something with it. He was really excited to see us do something with zombies mode. So I'm gonna try and round up as many zombies as I can. See if I maybe like a zombies only domination. You know what I mean? Like just you gotta only use zombies and just start throwing them all over the place. Yeah.
For the game mode, like we had debate about what it would be, and I think some guesstimated that it would be more on the magical side, because like we said, it's going to be something like War and Peace, where alliances are souped up. Or I was actually kind of hoping, like when I was like Merchant of Venice, I was like, what if they released a Venetian mode where it's a one city challenge? But he's saving that. He's got that in his back pocket for another time. But this is gonna be crazy. So good company, like all the modes on. It's gonna be exciting. Do zombies burn in lava? We'll find out if a volcano can kill zombies. Okay, we'll find out.
It truly is apocalypse mode when you have zombies and meteors and the world exploding. Yeah. So it's the true apocalypse
blowing up. Dark Ages.
There are many apocalypses combining the zombie apocalypse,
Revolution,
the Armageddon apocalypse. In my game, my plan is to get. I'm going to try to get Bruce Willis and a bunch of other people together to help stop the meteors. I think it might work.
Who else can you get? I think Morgan Freeman might be able to help you out there. Who's that old guy? He was in that movie too. Homer Simpson, I think, stopped a meteor once.
Dad
was right. Well, technically, it was this.
Oh no, he just said that the meteor was going to burn up in the atmosphere, and he ended up being right about it.
Yes, he was. So read all of your literature on how to destroy a meteor, Nystagmus. I'm sure it'll work, and you'll be able to shoot it out of the sky in time.
So that will be on March 28th, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then he's also going to be on the podcast on April 1st. And that is where we will have a formal interview with Carl, asking about the New Frontier Pass, Civ 6, the whole journey, everything like that. So be sure to tune into that week. We're going to call it Firaxis Week because why not? And yeah, is that cool? I just came up with that on the spot.
It is.
Cool with you guys? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I'm cool with that.
Perfect.
Okay.
We're half improv here at the Civ Show, and it's almost like it feels like we're coming to the end of a journey. It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't say enough how much I love this strategy that Firaxis utilized, and I think the Frontier Pass was genius. And like you had all these dedicated people just couldn't wait, and we got everyone else hyped out about it. And every time, like, you haven't failed. Like, every time, it's like, and then we even get these little bonus game modes in between. But yeah, it's the end of a journey, and it's beautiful that we'll have the Barbarian Prime, the legend himself.
We will talk more about the New Frontier Pass after the update. There'll be plenty of time to have a retrospective on the New Frontier Pass. So save all your comments on the entire pass for the very, very end. But yeah, tune into March 28th and April 1st. But we also have next week, March 21st. This Sunday. Like, what's happening on this Sunday? Nystagmus, why don't you take over for this one?
So we're gonna continue our game with our guest Bosius. Me and Bosius on a team trying to take down the unholy alliance between Moy and Zo.
Unholy alliance.
And game plan is that we hope that Moy and Zo destroy each other, and then we just claim victory. That's what's going to happen.
Sowing the seeds.
I'm gonna ask Zo to just he's gonna try to take iron from Moy, and it's just gonna cause a whole fit. And they'll just attack each other, even though they're allied in the game. They will be able to attack each other for some reason. Yeah,
we'll figure
the game will know that it's just a natural occurrence for Moy and Zo units to fight each other and attack each other.
I'll fill his land with just warrior monks. There's gonna be nowhere to move. Just all warrior monks. And then you have to come through and kill every single warrior monk individually in order to get to his cities.
I can't declare war on you. I can't even retaliate, like, because I'm stuck. I can't move anywhere. Good. Looking forward to it. Then I'm not getting conquered, I guess, if there's warrior monks everywhere, right?
Yeah, but my amenities are gonna be so bad. My war weariness is all those units dying. It's just like -1.
Moy, if it's in the name of spite, there is no price that's too high.
All right, so let's wrap up for today, shall we?
So, speaking of wrapping it up, I hear, Moy, that you've been wrapping up a bird these last many months. How is that going for you?
Well, I wrapped up a good old Twitter bird. Yeah. So if you haven't followed us on Twitter, you should. It's where you can get your most up-to-date Civilization and the Civ Show updates. It's also like where we like to interact with the community, where we like to roast some Civ give participants every so often. I don't know, just depends on how we feel. Just follow us on Twitter. We're pretty cool people over there.
Do it
at the Civ Show.
Do it. And Nystagmus, I hear you got a test tube tattoo somewhere not too visible, eh? Tell us about it.
I have a YouTube tattoo.
YouTube
Show YouTube channel. But definitely check out our YouTube channel, which you can catch all of our other videos. If you missed the stream, never fear. You can always just check out the VODs on our YouTube channel. We also have reaction videos. Moy makes some pretty awesome reaction videos recently. Definitely check those out, the most recent ones on the channel. I make my series, the Better Know a Leader series. And Zo has Razing reviews as well. So definitely give us a subscribe and ring the bell.
Ring that bell. Ring that bell. And then coming full circle, people. if you're looking to connect with us more regularly in a more intimate setting, you can join us on our Discord. It's sort of like the watering hole of the Civilization Show community. We talk about all sorts of things. We're always I think we have a chat thing going now, and people looking for group. If you just want to come and meet other Civ Show members Civ community members and just play some games, go for it, have fun. So join us on our Discord. And as you know, you can now catch the Civ Show 5 days a week. The game begins on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Civ Show. 3 hosts and a bunch of Civ. Good times. Guest hosts always coming and going. Both this Sunday. Monday, you've got afternoon tea with Nystagmus around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always a good show. Sometimes it's at 9 a.m. Usually around 9 a.m. Tuesdays is Good Morning Amenities with Razing Zozo, where he will have a nice coffee. He'll tell you all about it. He's got a whole bunch of new brews waiting for you this week, playing at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, the next day, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
don't go back to Monday. What the heck, man?
But the day that comes after I'm still Kitty from the legend coming on the show. Okay. On Wednesdays, the day that's after Tuesday but before Thursday, Moy does Moy at night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crack a beer, play some Civ with Moy. Always fun. And then, of course, we finish the week off here on the Civ podcast, where you guys can hear all about how we suck, so you don't have to. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I think we're going to raid somebody. Moy's going to tell us that in a second. And I hope to see everybody Sunday. And always a pleasure, gentlemen. And thank you for joining us, those in the the Twitch chat today.
Is it Foibles time?
Yeah, let's see Foibles.
It's just Thursday's Foibles Day. Everybody raids Foibles. Peppermint Butler raids Foibles. We raid Foibles. It's Foibles Day.
It's
just started, I think. It's Foibles.
Foibles. Yeah,
I love Foibles. All right, here we go. Let's go raid Foibles. We'll see you guys on Sunday for the show with Bostius. Until then, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.